Why, hello there. Please do come in, make yourself comfortable. I'm so very happy to welcome you to court. Now, we should have some privacy here in this antechamber. However, as you know, it's a very lively time. There's masquerades and music. The minstrels are singing. So, we might hear some of that music outside. But I think it's quiet enough in here for us to talk. Don't you agree? Well, how are you liking court so far? Have you been to England before? Oh, you have. It's a wonderful time of the year. I love spring the most. The flowers are so lovely. The sun is shining. Everything feels bright and new and promising. Would you like something to drink? We have some wine and some small ale if you prefer. I shouldn't be drinking too much wine at the moment. Although perhaps we could call in some food. Would you like some pastries? As for me, I'm craving quail eggs. I've had such a craving for quail eggs. I long for it more than anything else in the world. Honestly, I'm hungry all the time lately. I could certainly go for some quail eggs right now. Oh, a sign of pregnancy? Well, I won't confirm nor deny that, but I'll let you draw your own conclusions. But don't tell too many people. It's still early times yet. How wonderful it'd be, though, to give my sweet husband, the king, a child, a boy, a male heir, where all the others failed before. Tragic Anne, poor sweet Catherine. But their failures will not be in vain. This kingdom will have an heir, a true male heir, and I'll make the king so happy. Oh yes, Henry treats me so well. From the moment I met him, he's been an absolute gentleman. He showers me with gifts and jewels and is so very kind. I know that some people are a bit frightened of him, and of course he's the king. He's very intimidating when he wants to be. But he has a gentle soul and a kind heart. How could anyone not fall in love with him at first sight? You know, my father and him were good friends. Oh yes, my father fought many battles with him when Henry was just a young prince. They had quite some times together, or so my father tells me. My brothers like to fill me in on those stories. I have two. They're both very brave, very smart, a little calculating, but I think we can't help it. That's just how men can be sometimes. I'm quite happy to keep my peace. I'm so happy to be queen. I haven't been officially anointed yet, but we must do it soon, for I think this child grows in me very quickly. But I have no complaints about the king, none at all. He's so chivalrous. I still have some of the poems he wrote me back when he was courting me. And it's true, he was married while he courted me, but that's just the king's way. Kings are meant to share their love with all the people. I have heard rumors that he is a little friendly with my ladies in waiting, but I do not hold any resentment towards him or them. It is just the way of things. I learned from a very young age, you must go with life where it will take you. You must accept your role, and perhaps magical things can happen, like becoming queen. Who would have ever thought I'd be queen and have these wonderful jewels? I can hear the minstrels playing. Do you hear them? It would be nice to dance, but Henry says I should rest. He's so protective of me. He does love me so much, and I can feel his love. Have you met the princesses? Well, I suppose I shouldn't call them princesses. They are just ladies. But I hope to change that. Or at the very least, I do hope that I can reconcile them again. Oh, yes, Lady Mary is so pious, so honest and pure, just like her mother. And Lady Elizabeth, oh, she's such a charmer, so much energy, such a fireball. I've been granted private audiences with both of them, and I'm trying to convince Mary to sign the oath. She has yet to sign it, and I do understand her qualms. Had my mother been left to wither away in such a way, I would certainly feel, well, it would be difficult to sign such a document, saying that my mother had never been queen. But Lady Mary must do what she must. Just like all of us, we have our roles to play, and we must play them well. It is just the order of things. There's no use trying to change what cannot be changed. And in any case, what use do I have of complaint? I have a loving husband. I have all these riches and beauty around me. I have a child growing in my belly. And I'm Queen of England. Yes, I'm quite happy and very pleased. But I would be so happy if come Yuletide, we could all be one big family. The future prince, as well as Lady Mary and Lady Elizabeth. I'm hoping to bring them to court. I've been working with Chapuis, the Spanish ambassador, to try to convince the king. Oh, it's not an easy thing. I'm sure you've heard about the poor rebels up north. The 5 wounds of Christ on their badge, marching, protesting. It's a very wrong rebellion, of course. To rebel against your king is to go against God. Yet, I still feel for them. They've only known the old religion. Of course, the Seymours, my family and I, we readily signed the oath when it came to be. We would follow whatever the king said. And I would say I'm a reformer, to a certain extent. Truly, I am whatever my husband asks me to be. That's the only way I know. When I was young, I listened to my father. As I grew older, I listened to my brothers. And now I listen to my husband, the king. And I'm quite content that way. But I do remember the old Catholic ways. And I understand the pain, the agony, all the monasteries being shut down, people losing their only charitable homes. I feel for these Northmen and women, and children too that I hear have been put to the sword, hung up. It's very sad. I begged the king to reconsider, to perhaps let them go, to show mercy. Henry was not so pleased. He told me very clearly that he loved me very much, and I should do nothing to change that. He reminded me of the queens that came before him. I remember why Henry and I were officially betrothed on the day of Anne's execution. So, of course, I learned my lesson. I bowed to my husband and said, of course he knew best, and it was just a humble suggestion from his poor wife. And things were fine after that. And shortly after, I had the great news about, well, the child I carry. Oh, the king was so pleased. I have more quail eggs than I know what to do with. Well, I do know what I'll do with them. I'll eat them all. It is not so easy to be queen. There are many things to worry about, and this crown is heavier than I thought it would be. But I am determined not to let any of it affect me. I will raise a healthy son. I will reign along with my husband. I will bring Lady Mary and Lady Elizabeth to court. We will all live happily together, and England will shine like the jewel it is. Yes, I know only good times are ahead. Oh, you must excuse me. I do not mean to be rude. This child takes so much of my energy already. Perhaps I shall lie down. You don't mind, do you? It sounds like the minstrels are at it again. You should go dance, enjoy the feast and the revelry. I think I shall lay down with my quail eggs and sleep for a bit. Well, I'm so glad you've come to court, and if you need anything at all, do not hesitate to ask. Goodbye.